Welcome to today's Seidokan Saturday. Today we're going to look at blocks with the footwork required for the 10th Kyu or yellow belt in my dojo. For more in-depth information on the specifics of how to do the stance, why, the mobility of the footwork and all of that, the background of why I'm doing it the way I do, go back to videos Seidokan Saturday number 3, numbers 10, 11, 12, and 13, I believe, where I go extensively into the footwork, stances, purposes, and probably even show this exact same thing, but now within the context of the testing for the yellow belt. So stationary, we've done uchi-uke, soto-uke, ani-uke, gerambarai, and now we're going to put those with the stance known as Shiko dachi. Shiko is 4 directions, or square. The square is formed by putting my foot 90 degrees, pointing 90 degrees from each other. So my back foot is at a 45-degree angle relative to the front line. From my front foot, I'm sitting with my forward foot, toes directly where I'm looking and going. My thigh and knee and toes all pointing straight forward. My back thigh, toes, and knees pointing 90 degrees to the side. We start from the yoi position. There are 2 ways we're going to do these blocks. Simply stepping into each block first, and then walking with our Shiko dachi. Walking is done the same way as with the Zenkutsu dachi, the front stance walking that I taught with the front punch and the reverse punch, where the feet slide, pull together, keeping my body centered and my posture upright throughout. So from the side, my posture staying upright, moving from a hip-centered movement as opposed to pushing off the back foot and leaning. Same stepping process. Again, you can go back, rewatch, and review all of those things. So starting with uchi-uke, inside-out block, we would start from our yoi position, squeeze, slide back to the Shiko dachi with the block. Come back to neutral, stepping to the other side. That would be my uchi-uke steps. Soto-uke, same thing. Outside inward block. Again, as mentioned in the blocking video, not technically a Seidokan block because most Seidokan emphasizes coming from inside out, but as a strike, as an arm break and other things, very useful. And then the other side, soto-uke. Next, we'd step with ani-uke, high block. And then the same thing on the opposite side. And then low block, gerambarai. And the opposite side. Again, this is the 8-point blocking system, essentially. We could do the same block over and over and as a drill, but on the test, that's how I would ask them to perform it. Stepping back 1 block at a time, doing each block in sequence. Next, we do those same movements walking. So I'm going to start back quite a ways here. From the yoi, we would step into our ready position, Shiko dachi gerambarai. From here, we would start with uchi-uke, right hand, number 1 block, left hand, number 2, and we might do uchi-uke all the way forward, all the way backward, going through. Same thing with soto-uke and so on. But for simplicity, for the sake of this video, since I've already covered all of that and the other things, we would do each block walking, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to do them by the numbers with the 8-point blocking system. So we'd start Zenkutsu dachi, Shiko dachi gerambarai, square stance low block, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, then moving backwards, number 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yame and yasume. Very simply, that's the blocking as I would require it for my yellow belt. Starting from yoi, stepping into each block, and then walking, moving with the 8-point blocking system or individual blocks. Again, for more in-depth on the stances, this is just a combination of all that I've already put on previous vlogs with the stances and the blocking, which you can use to review. Thanks for joining. Next week, I will be videotaping the kihon portion of an actual yellow belt test. One of my students is testing, adult students is testing for her yellow belt. So I will video that so you can see the actual testing process of that kihon or basics portion with the punching, front punch, reverse punch, front kick, side blade kick, and the 4 blocks with their stances and movements, and you'll see that all on the yellow belt testing. So until next week, thank you again for joining, and as always, keep practicing.